Go now.
Hello, VSC shoppers. I didn't feel like doing the VSC yet. I don't know.
Welcome to Wednesday,
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow,
the VSC edition.
the adventures of us selling you yarn. If anyone missed the VSC chant, let me know and I'll do it next time. So, hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny and we hope won't rain, but probably will today, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
And we are advertising two yarns today that we are both wearing one of them. And we'll see how long we wear them. Because if we get, although now that I took my mask off, I pulled off a little bit. We are going to be talking about what Liz is wearing is double-stranded of the Queensland United Foursome. And I have some ongoing projects I couldn't wear because they're not done yet. But I am wearing Paradigm Shift from Cascade. So, and we'll talk more about what we have on, hopefully, as we go. So, let's get into it. What was fun is that we got in what we could of Paradigm Shift because they are discontinuing it. So we thought we'd advertise what we have. And then we just got in some refills and one new color of the United Foursome. Look at me like front loading things like yesterday. and here, can you hold up one? I'm making her do things other than crochet or knit on the show. Look, they're both giant, not giant, but they're both big cakes.
They're both big cakes, and there is a lot of yardage on each.
Are they
cake.
both 200 grams? Yes, they are. I'm looking at the side of that. They're both 200 grams. They're different weights of yarn, which means there's different amounts of yardage on them, but they're both equivalent to twice the regular amount you get on one skein, because many yarns, not all, package things in 100 grams. These are 200. So, which looks really different than the 200 of Ito, which is not on sale this week. Just because I mentioned it on the show does not mean it's on sale. But that's also a big giant 200 gram thing. So these guys look similar, but are very different. And we're going to talk about that today. Remember, the things that we advertise on this Wednesday are 15% off with the code product of the week, or remind us to take the discount at the shop because we'll forget until we film next Wednesday's show. So look for these to be in the product of the week category in the online shop. That's how you know that I've done all the magic behind the scenes and the code will actually work. And it's product of the week with spaces. So they're actual words instead of a big run-on sentence. All right, so what do you want to start with?
Let's start with the Queensland.
It's fun. Let's start with the Queensland. And then you could take your sweater
and then
off.
I could take my sweater off.
So the Queensland, it's a giant cake. It's one of the few things that qualifies as lace weight in the shop, which means it's even thinner than fingering weight. Throw some stats at us.
It is a soft machine washable blend of lambswool and cotton. 55% lambswool and 45% cotton.
Are they just trying to make the wool sound softer by calling it lambswool? I guess. I don't actually know.
There's lots of different. You've got lambswool, you've got virgin wool, you've got
things that make it softer.
Virgin wool is the first time you use it.
The first shearing?
No,
right? No.
Actually, it's the first time you knit something.
I learned something. I had something wrong.
I looked it up because a lot of the sweaters that I buy for sweater coats say virgin wool. And so I looked it up.
Can you repeat that though? I went while you were talking, so I didn't
Virgin wool is the first time something is knit or crocheted. After that, it's no longer virgin wool.
So if it doesn't say virgin wool, someone's already worked with it? That doesn't make sense.
No, well, but like they'll throw it out there for like sweaters and stuff that it's virgin wool.
It's like putting organic on something or natural. It makes it sound better.
It makes it sound all loopy and happy.
So virgin wool may not necessarily be implying it's softer. It means no one's done anything with it yet. So most of the wool in our shop is, we could call virgin wool if we wanted to make it sound proofy.
Recycled wool or yarn wouldn't be virgin because it's
and half the time that's taken off the cutting room floor and like
put back together. It's Frankenstein yarn.
But it sounds like you're saving the planet. So yay! Yeah. Okay, sorry.
They actually, on the sticker, they call it a number 2. but it is not a number 2.
They call it a number 2, which is more of a fingering weight, but I mean, you have how much yardage for
200 grams? You have 1,531 yards.
Which, if we divide that down, that's over 700 yards for 100 grams. And usually for a fingering weight, yeah, I guess maybe they think that it'll floof more. Like you give it room to fluff.
It does fluff a little bit.
It fluffs a little bit. I am doing a lace weight pattern though with it.
Yeah.
Although I think I'm on, it wants you to do it on, I'm on a 3 for the lace weight pattern I'm doing.
They are recommending a 3 to a 5, US 3 to a 5, or 3.25 to a 3.75 needle.
Which usually lace weight they want you to do on a much thinner needle, but I could go thinner than the needle I'm using right now for what I'm making. And I will say that it'll fluff a little, so it may not look as thin as some lace weights, but I think you can do a lot of lace weight stuff with this. Like we have someone coming in looking for a lace weight gradient, and they may or may not feel that this is a true lace weight. It's on the heavier side of lace, but there's so much yardage.
It's not exactly a true gradient either.
That's the thing. Well, she looked through them and she saw one that does more of a gradient thing.
Yeah.
Some of these do more of a, it's explain what they are. Liz does this really well.
Queensland United is 50-gram bowls of a billion different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody,
it's talking about being the unification of the wool and the cotton, maybe.
Yeah. So somebody went through and went, ooh, if we put 4 50-gram bowls together in one cake, we could call them a foursome
and sell it.
And so each of the rings is the same. They're all the same meterage or yardage on each of the rings. When I did this sweater, I took all the balls apart.
Yeah.
And there's like an inch of needle tacked where it'll survive being knit through or crocheted through.
Which I've done.
Yeah. But it's just an overlap of a tiny little bit that if you want to separate the colors, it's really not hard. This sweater took less than one of these.
And she was double stranded.
Granted, it's cropped and, but I double stranded
and what needle did you knit on?
I think I did an 11.
Did you feel like, so a 2 lace weights held together should technically feel kind of like a sport weight?
It does.
Does it feel like thicker than a sport weight? No, that's still pretty, yeah.
It's really thin. I can, if I hold it up, I can see where my weaving in ends happened. And
my first adventure with this, which I've stalled out on, but I've almost reached the 4th color. Can you hold up the blue one? We'll talk about colors in a second. I started from the inside, so like, hello, you can't really see, but I can put my hand through. I've almost reached the blue part of it. This is the Nessie shawl by SisHomemade, I think is the name. And giant triangle. This is crocheted. Giant triangle shawl that each is it's the same amount of yarn, but look how much it took up the center for the gray, because as you get further out, the rows get longer and eat up more yarn. And this is one of my really fun, it looks really complicated.
I want to say you're holding it up backwards.
I think I just realized that too.
That's why I looked at it. I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And then I saw your back and went,
this is the front. It's even cooler. And if you follow her instructions and stuff, I think someone with at the further end of advanced beginner could actually do this. And I looked for a pattern that took 1,500 yards of either fingering or lace weight. And I forget if she did this with fingering or lace, but I knew if this was thinner.
She does lots of thin.
It was one of those sheep G's.
Yeah.
Like whirl, which is very popular right now.
The Sis Love, she does a ton of really thin yarn on really little hook.
Haven't even hit the last 50 grams of yarn yet. And look how much, and crochet eats up more yarn. So look how far I got, which this almost makes me want to get back to this, but the rows take so long right now. It's really hard. So this is one of the projects I am making with this, and it is soft. It's very like you soft. Think 50% wool, maybe it wouldn't be soft, but it is very soft. And the wool gives strength to the cotton in terms of it not stretching out. So it is wonderful.
It fluffs. It helps it fluff a little bit. Like, I'm hot, but that's because I have 2 dresses on, my sweater, and my hair is hanging down my back, and
so
it's a problem.
It's really pretty, and some of these colors we can get back in. I want to say some of the colors that we can't get back in, we don't have anymore. Like, we've just sold out of them. We don't have every single color that they provide, but we have a bunch. Let me show you the project I'm knitting with this, which I have not gotten very far on. There's the look, mine still looks a lot like that because I haven't gotten very far on it. This one I'm starting from the outside of the cake. And I said, okay, let me find something that is lace weight that should be about this yardage that's knit. And I found Purl Soho's Botanical Lace Scarf. And this is crazy fun, not super complicated lace, but will look kind of complicated. The lace work, let me hold it up maybe in front of that so you can kind of see, and you probably can't hear me because I'm not by the mic, but which is why I won't describe the detail of this till I'm by the mic. This has fun, funky lace work on both the right and the wrong sides. So I mentioned this with, what was I talking about yesterday that does this?
Your Stonecatcher.
The Stonecatcher lace. Thank you. Yes, my brain just can't handle anything right now. The Stonecatcher lace, which is not quite as intricate as this. There's some repeats and things to really keep track of in this. Had, instead of a lace row and a set row, it's lace on every single row. And so, yes, you've got more spindly looking lace on this. I'm really excited for when it changes colors, but I don't even think I've made it through part of, I'm looking for the scale here. It was right here. It's right here. I'm going to test and see how much of the color, if I do some head math, I've actually knit through. So I have so many projects going. I don't always get back to these fun ones that really deserve some attention. So at some point I'll get off all my therapy things I'm knitting or finish them and get back to these oldies but goodies, right? So Liz, can you start showing some colors?
Yes.
I'm just going to, oh, this is already ready.
So to recap, the red that Rebecca is showing off, is Queen Victoria. It's red, dark, almost a burgundy red, a red, a fuchsia, and a lavender.
I like a light lavender. And I'm laughing because I put this on the scale and it's weighing 203 or 204 grams, which means, like, sometimes it's give or take, right? So some of these will be over 200 grams. That means this little bit that I've knit has taken a fraction. It hasn't even really scratched the surface of what is in this cake. So here, can I see that one? I'm just curious because, again, it's usually plus or minus.
220 grams.
This is 223. About 220 grams is what this is weighing in at. And yes, the label might weigh a little bit, but not very much. So I've actually knit through maybe 15 grams. This says 200 grams. You might luck out and get a little more than 200 grams. So I bet the yardage is pretty consistent, but the yardage, you know, because of machine processing, may come out to be a little more than whatever. Hopefully. Sorry.
The blues is Port Jackson, and it's a nice classic blue.
Yes, like a classic royal-ish, verging on classic blue.
Charcoaly gray, a light denim,
kind of more of a denim-y,
and then a light gray. And
you can see that in my piece. It kind of, this one is a little more of almost a gradient. I would classify it as, in a way. I mean, it goes to purple, so. But this one bounces back and forth between grays and blues. If you want a gradient in that, you want one that goes from, like, say, light gray to dark blue. It's not going to go in order, but it's going to have a really cool effect. So not so much of a gradient with that one. But
this one is Bondi Beach. And it's a nice, what color would you call that?
It's like
a slate.
A slate, but there's a little bit of a turquoise tinge to it. You know, I would say.
A nice teal, a nice light aqua with a little bit of sea foam.
And then the inside of that is more of what I would classify as a true classic blue. Like it's a lighter classic blue than the royal blue in the other one. Yeah. Can I see that one for a second?
Yeah.
Some of these, like the Bondi Beach, we were out of. We just got back in stock. Some of these we only have a couple of skeins of, and I have to make sure I've taken my skeins out of inventory to make sure that we don't, oversell things.
And
Most we can get back in. This one was out of stock. We just got in yesterday. This one's measuring at 203 grams. So this one's not as over the top as the red. So,
and sometimes the colors overlap.
Yeah.
Like the inside two colors of this are the middle two colors of that.
Maybe. Yeah. Probably.
They're reversed.
Okay. It's hard to tell when they're paired around other colors if they're the exact same colors, because it does change how they look.
Yeah.
But I think there were more color combinations they came up with, and then they phased them out. So we had these wonderful reds and oranges that were shop colors, and it's gone. So what we can get back in, we will, but maybe not before the sale runs out. So grab what you want when you can. So
this one is Kangaroo Isle.
It is what you were wearing.
It is what I am wearing. Mm-hmm. I never thought about putting greens and teals together, and then I saw this and went, ooh.
Right?
Dark green.
Like a forest green.
A forest dark green, yeah. It's a celery green.
Yeah, I would call that one a nice light celery green.
And then a lighter teal, and then a darker
It's that one we were calling aqua, I think, in the other one. And then a darker, more genuine teal.
It's super fun.
It's really cute. If I wasn't already making like a million things with this yarn.
This one has has the purple of the Queen Victoria on the outside. It's Sydney Towers.
I guess that's got the light. It's so hard to tell.
Light lavender, carnation type pink.
Yep.
A light gray,
which might be the light or close to the light gray here.
Yeah.
It may or may not be the same light gray, but
and then cream in the middle,
like an off-white ecru cream.
Yep.
This
one is Fraser Island, and it doesn't overlap with any of our colors, but it's got a nice heathered,
totally different greens.
Like
they're all pretty much heathered
pine green.
It's a light pine green,
and then a lighter, almost a grassy green.
Mm-hmm.
A brown.
It's warmer than the celery on the other one. Like a taupey brown.
Latte.
Yes, I like the latte.
And then
it's kind of a pea green almost.
A pea green, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're looking for neutrals, that like warm neutrals, that's the way to go. If you're looking for cool neutrals, look what Liz has.
We have Whitehaven, and it is a cream middle.
That same ecru cream, I think.
Medium gray, charcoal gray, and black.
Mm-hmm. That one is the closest to a really true gradient, I think, that we have. And then our new color that we just got in, and we potentially are going to be like 1/3 of the way sold by the end of the day, because Liz bought one already and someone else might be buying one today if they like the yarn. I really like this one. Again, if I wasn't already making a million things.
It's Taronga Zoo.
Taronga Zoo. I mean, that just has a fun ring to it, right?
So, like, I keep looking at this.
This is also close to a gradient, I think.
I keep looking at it going, that's gray. No, it's purple. No, it's gray. No, it's purple.
It's a purpley gray.
It's a purple gray on the outside.
Which makes it more of a gradient.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking it was like 3 purples and a gray.
Yeah.
But the gray has some purple in it.
Yeah.
I have no idea if the photo I took yesterday and already put online really reflects this.
It's almost like it has one thread of purple.
It's like a heathery
that tinges
gray. Yeah, it's a heathery gray purple.
Yeah. And then it's got a nice medium purple.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like eggplant. It's a medium good purple. And then a shade or two lighter, and then a shade or two lighter.
Like one of those might be the lavender that's in some of these.
Yeah.
Like the center, I think.
Center, yeah.
And
then this one is
at least 2 of them are heathery looking, and it's just pretty. It's pretty. And I'll get more if I can.
Yeah.
The Knitting Fever, where I buy them from, was having a sale last week, but I ordered these before last week, and I think the sale's already over. But so I can't pass those savings on to you. But hopefully I can order more. And I'm giving you savings anyway this week. 15% off with the code product of the week. Anyway, so
I'm probably gonna do a purpley striped sweater.
Oh, is that what you're thinking of doing with the one you bought? It's so pretty.
It's a great spring and fall layering piece. Like this morning, it was in the mid 60s, and I wore it in, and it was just enough with the air conditioning.
Well, and I think single stranded, it would be great for lace weight or even a light fingering weight pattern if you wanted to make something that is a little cooler. for warmer temperatures. So a lightweight top for that calls for fingering weight, but you're thinking merino is going to be a little too warm. This could be wonderful because it's got the breathable cotton in it. And like the yardage of it is such that like if someone wanted to make like a papillon out of this,
oh yeah,
you could make 2 papillons out of it because there's so much yardage there. What
on the little needles.
on the that's what you're supposed to do, but you can do whatever you want. But I'm just saying, like I think we've had people who did the Puno, which is not as much yardage as this, and they were disappointed with how little the color changed by the end. So the same thing, you'd have to figure out how you want to use it.
Yeah.
You could get like a whole sweater out of one of these. I mean, she has double stranded, it's cropped and short sleeved, and
it's very, very lightweight. And I had probably just under half of each of the balls.
You could even ball off one of the colors to use as a contrast with the other 3 if there was color work or something. Like the possibilities are endless. And like I said, 2 or 3 of these colors, some of them we were out of, we just got back in. 2 or 3 of these colors we only have a couple of skeins of. I'll get them back in if I can. But if you're like, ooh, that'd be perfect for fill in the blank, grab it while it's here. So, and online ordering is the easiest way to do that. You can always call the shop.
Yes.
And we'll try to make sure that we can, we can't hold them for you because someone could buy it out from under you from online. So, anyway, call with your credit card number. Now I'm sounding more like an infomercial. Okay, let's switch over to the paradigm shift, which is what is pictured right in front of us. And the paradigm shift is 200, but I mean, you can tell just by looking at these though, it's 200 grams, but this is a much thicker yarn. So there's not going to be as much here. This is more of a worsted weight cotton, and 200 grams of worsted weight is going to get you less yardage than you think you might get from a worsted weight 200 grams, but it's still a massive quantity of yarn for,
Well, what's the yardage on it? Should I read stats?
If you'd like to. Did we talk about what that price is on that?
Oh, the price on this 1,500 plus yardage for $26.95 regular price. 15% off this week.
Both of these are in the $20-ish range. So, what do we got?
We have it's 100% mercerized cotton. So like washcloths all the way up, whatever. 200 grams gets you 371 yards. Cotton is dense.
Cotton is really dense, so you don't, and so it's heavy, so you don't get as much yardage for the same weight. Yeah. With wool, you'd expect to get at least 400 yards out of 200 grams. But same thing with our 100 grams of the Nifty cotton, which is not on sale this week, is like 184 for 100 grams. And so it kind of works out. Yeah. It's by the same company. These can be used interchangeably with Nifty cotton as a solid contrast if you wanted that. Super cool. What do we got?
They recommend a US 6 or a 7, which is a 4.0 to a 4.5 millimeter. Machine washable, dryable. We are retailing it for $21.50.
And 15% then it's 15% off this week. Get it while you can, because I don't think we can get any more of this back in. I mean, I could always check with Cascade, but they're trying to sell out of it because they are discontinuing it. So get it while you can. What we have is what we have. So we have a bunch of this color. This is my favorite. This is the color that is the middle. Like if you can see, there's 3. This is the Granny Stripes Poncho by Anna D. And it's a giant rectangle which has been sewn together. Where's the seam? Where's the seam? It's way over here. It's been, see, I did it in a different color, partially because I ran out of one color. It's been sewn together almost to the halfway point, but you leave an opening for your head. And then you can see in this, the top one here, let's start this way. The top one here is the citrus colorway. You can see the similarities, right? And you can also see how it shifts through colors. It's not totally a gradient. It does move from one color to another, but there'll be little pops. Like there's pops of green in here as it changes from the orange to the yellow to the green.
And there's pops of yellow in the orange.
You can see that there's speckles interspersed throughout the whole thing. And each skein is different. They're not going to be identical.
So some of them will look like they've been balled the same way and some won't. And some will have more orange or less, or the colors will be intermingled more. So that was citrus. The second color in here, what we're talking about from like here to here, is circus. It's my favorite. We got as much as we could of this. The circus has, I should say, going back to the citrus, not to be confusing. The citrus has a really bright orange, a really bright, intense yellow, citrusy yellow. And then the green is almost like a light minty green, though.
Yeah,
so,
it's not lime.
It's not like a bright lime. It's much more of a light color, which is similar to some light green in here, which is why something like this kind of works. The circus is more of a rainbow color. It has a saturated red, but not a deep red. It's on the lighter, more purpley end, because there's also purple. Where it overlaps with the blue, there's some purple. We have some brighter yellow in it, kind of like the citrus. Where that overlaps with the blue, there's a little bit of green. And some skeins of this will have a lot of green because the dyes will overlap a lot, and some won't have quite so much.
And on your poncho, the one you used had a lot more orange in it.
There's like the green overlapped with the orange more. It was more orangey than yellow.
Yeah.
And like here, these are the same colorway. But see, that is much more like the orange in here. You can see more of that orangey color with the citrus than the yellow, right? And here where the orange overlapped to make a green, it's a darker green than it might be on this skein. So you're not really sure what you're going to get until you work with it. But I think it's fun enough that if you can be okay with that, you're going to love how it comes out. So again, these are the same colorway. It's just this one has the red on the outside and this one has the red on the inside. And this one has the blue on the inside and this one has the orange. It's just they've started in different places. And it makes each piece that you're going to make unique. Now, the color at the bottom of this is one we don't have anymore. But we do have a couple of other colors left. We've got, if you're more into the pastels, this one is called Bubble. And it has kind of
like cotton candy colors.
Cotton candy pastel colors. So Eastery-ish, if that works for you to describe it that way. We've got a lighter green, kind of a minty rather than that lime again, right? We've got the cotton candy pink kind of going on. And the yellow is like...
It's a pale yellow.
It's a pale yellow that's got a greenish tinge to it. Mm-hmm. So it's not like a pure yellow. And some of these might have a little more of a pure yellow happening. The one that you almost can't see the top of there right in front of the camera
has more yellow.
The yellow is a little more intense in it. We can't guarantee which skein you're going to get. The last one, which is very different. This one's called Seattle, I believe. Yes, it's like the Seattle Seahawk colors. And if you take a look, the one in front of the camera there doesn't have a whole lot, at least in what's visible. What's really crazy is you don't know until you knit with it if there's something kind of hidden in the inner rings in here. But the one in front of the camera does not have as much of this kind of light neon green to it, which is almost the same green that's in everything else, that minty green. It's a little more yellowy in the Seattle colors, but then you've got navy in here and you've got some light grays in here. And if you like the bold popping contrast of this is awesome and amazing.
Just so everybody knows, Cascade is based up in Washington and
the
Oregon.
Seattle area.
Yeah. So the Seattle Seahawks they always have a colorway.
Sense. They always have these colorways in their sock yarns that are patterning. They'll do all these different cities all around the country, but they'll throw a Seattle in there and it'll probably be these colors again. So they're fans. So we've got we have like 4 colors left. We had more. We've already sold out of some that we cannot get back in, but we grabbed what we could to share it with you because it was just starting to get really popular in the shop when I noticed the Cascade was DXing it, as we call it.
It never fails.
It never fails that when I like something and I'm knitting with it or crocheting with it for you all to show you all what you can make.
People are like, ooh, I want more of that yarn.
People suddenly go, ooh, that's cool. Like unconnected, not talking to each other, coming in the shop and going, ooh, that's when the yarn company decides it's not selling really well. It's like, no, give it time because it's just starting to sell really well. So these are the two yarns that we have, the fun big 200-gram cakes, that 100% cotton, worsted weight, 50-50.
Cotton wool blend.
Yep.
Just
Lace
under 50-50. It's 55-45.
Oh, excuse me. About half and half-ish. Which one has more, cotton or wool? A little more wool. But again, the cotton makes it nice for more summery things. Get them while you can. We'll get in what we can, which is only going to be some colors of that. So these, when we're out. And then so just because we have to throw Notion in, we got new stuff from Cocoknits, and I'm so excited. And now is your chance to scarf up the new stuff on sale for the next week. So Cocoknits released their Earth Tone series, and there's 2 products that we got that are earth toned, and that's why we put the stitch stoppers on sale last week, because we had new stitch stoppers coming in. I'm gonna give you those because I'm really excited about these.
Okay. The earth tone stitch stoppers, you get 4 each of the 6 sizes, 24 pieces, 0 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
There's tans, a kind of blue gray, a yellow, a brown.
I did open it so we could show y'all. The earth tones are kind of, they're pale, I guess found in nature tones. We have right now, we have neutral, which are all shades of gray. We have colorful, which are not super intense, but they're brighter rainbow colors than what we're bringing in right now. And this is something for people who want something a little more neutral, but maybe don't like the grays. Liz is finding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, can you do that? Balancing act. So those are all the colors. I'm going to try to color correct the video just a hair. Yes, we have tans and taupes and yellows. I really like that and color. Yeah, it's like a slaty bluey gray. Everything that Liz just described, and kind of like a little bit of a green, like they're all very pale and very peaceful. I'm super excited. Oh wait, those are $12.95, $12.75, regular price, same price as the other colorful stitch stoppers that we have. When Liz says 0 through 15, it means, so the 6 sizes, like if you kind of divide that 0 to 15, US 0 to 15s by 6, like maybe 1 through 4 might fit in the smallest size on up. And what they have different size holes in them and different circumferences so that you can stick them over the ends of your needles up past the tip and your stitches won't fall off. They are, they're really fun, kind of genius. Sometimes if you put them on too small of a stopper on too big of a needle, it can stretch out and not really take its shape back, but that doesn't happen as frequently as you might think. I think they stay on better than the little cap stitch markers that we have. We're going to let that person leave a message. The other thing that I'm super, super excited about is they had discontinued their triangle stitch markers for a while because I think they were trying to rethink how they were packaging them. What?
I'm dump them into the top because I'm going to read the stats on the bottom.
Don't take my things. But there's stats on the top too. So
there's stats everywhere.
Okay. I am a huge fan of their triangle stitch markers. I will get my terminology straight at some point. I'm going to show you, like, they were all black and white in this little tin, and the tin had kind of rusting issues and stuff. So now we're in a triangle, like the circular packages that we have for other Cocoknits. There they are in the earth tones again, very similar to the stitch stoppers. Go ahead.
Stats. You get 3 different sizes. That'll go from 0 to 13, so 1 to a 9 millimeter. There are 54 stitch markers in the pack. We are selling them for the same price as the circles, which is $9.95 this week, 15% off. You get 3 of each size and color.
So
there are 6 colors.
So there's 3 sizes, and you get 3 each of each color in each size, if that makes sense. So I've got here, let me see if I can show them to you. What? And I was trying to keep them all spread out. And I'm probably not in front of the microphone enough, but
No.
take a look at that.
They're
Hey,
so
Liz,
pretty.
Can
Look.
you say that I have 2 each of
She
3
has
sizes?
2 each of 3 sizes.
And there's a variety of colors there. But we've got it's like daddy bear and mama bear and baby bear.
Wee
For the 3 different
little baby bear.
But there's a bunch of different colors for each. Like each one's gonna have that celery green, and like 3 each of the celery green and 3 each of the creamy, and you know, so you're gonna have a range of colors too. And these are the classic version of the stitch markers, that they're metal with a plastic coating on them, as eco-conscious as they can make them.
Nylon coated steel.
See, I knew it was something better than plastic. I mean, it's kind of still artificial, but they're trying to make it as Cocoknits always tries to go as eco-conscious as they can, which means if you have a fancy magnet like the it's here, there it is. If you have like one look, my pen is stuck because it's a giant magnet. If you have one of their Maker's Keep that you can wear on your wrist, that's the whole pack right there. Just got sucked up into the Maker's Keep. So look at all the different sizes and colors. Isn't that pretty? And or you know,
you don't have to have a fancy magnet.
Exactly. You can low tech hack it, and if you have a magnet at home, you can find stitch markers that have gotten stuck in your couch. I love the triangle ones. I'm so happy I can have triangle ones to show off on morning meditation that aren't out of stock, because they lay flatter against the needle when you have yarn overs or things that need to wrap around the stitch marker. They're thinner in circumference, in like width, than the circular ones that we carry. And I like triangle ones in general, be they plastic, metal, whatever, because sometimes there's a little edge where you can get your needle into when you're slipping them.
You can just doop.
There's a lot of reasons to like the triangular ones, and I stocked up as much as I could so y'all can get some. And hopefully if y'all buy me out of them, I will get more. So consider these, because they are gorgeous and wonderful and functional, and yay. And they're 15% off this week. So
consider that a challenge, because she bought like 30 of them.
Like, yeah. Buy me out of them. That would be awesome. Although I might have 29 now, because I might call this one mine. So just so I can display them for people.
These stitch markers are too big. And these stitch markers are too small.
And this one right here
is just
you got to put over my hair maybe so we can see it. It's just right. Yeah. I mean, technically stitch markers I don't think they can be too big. They can be a little cumbersome, but as long as they fit around the needle, they're not too big.
Yeah.
They can be too small.
A lot of times mine are too
big.
Small.
Oh, I went the wrong way with that. They're too big, but it's okay. So yeah, every once in a while, the smallest size, I'll go, it won't go over the rest of my needle.
Yeah, like most of those, I would have to use the biggest size, because
this might work up to a 7, but not quite.
The medium size probably won't go up to a 9.
Might just barely, but might not. So they don't exist in Liz's world. Anyway, so I think that's enough for today. We have a lot of fun products that will be on sale this week. I'm going to try to get these back in here. We'll see if this works.
Don't forget you have a round one buried in there somewhere.
But this is my pack now, so who cares? Look, this one's like the circular ones are like bright rainbow colors. This one's pretty fuchsia, so I can tell it apart from. You guys probably can't see the color at all back there, but I can tell it apart and find it not only by shape but by color. So she's laughing at me.
Maybe.
Anyway, tomorrow is Dear Becky and Lizzie edition, and we'll see what we have for y'all. If you want to send us a question about knit or crochet that is a general enough question for us to talk about. We've had some people send us or send to the general email some questions that are specific about specific patterns, and to a certain extent we can't go into pattern detail too much because it might be like violating copyright if we're going to be technical about it. Sometimes I can help you out with the pattern privately, but on the YouTube channel, unless I have permission, we're not going to talk about details of patterns. On my tips and tricks, I have talked about things that have to do with the papillon in terms of more detail with Marin's permission. But if you have more bigger questions about knit and crochet, things that we could chat about and get a conversation going about, for tomorrow, you want to email
me, liz@sundragonartandfiber.com.
If it goes to the general submission form on our website or to Rebecca@sundragonartandfiber.com, it might get lost in the shuffle. I might be able to answer it at some point, but it might not make it on air because we pull from Liz's email for that. So, or you can send us a lovely card that we will cherish forever at Dear Becky and Lizzie, Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street. I thought she was getting up and leaving for a second. Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. And then I realized what she's doing. It's buried. We have a little folder or little basket, but it's under so much other yarn.
Oh my God. Like
avalanche. Oh my gosh, we have a hot mess now.
The basket's heavy too. We've gotten that many cards. Like,
oh man. Yeah.
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 So you throw a couple skeins of yarn in it.
Look, we save all of them. Aren't they cool? So please send us that because we will cherish it. We cherish our emails too, but we can't put them in a basket.
I save them on my.
Yeah. And then Friday we have another virtual sit and stitch. We had a few new people join us last night. It was really fun. I want to say we had Irene last night, and who else? Didn't we have someone else last night? Harriet joined us for like the second time, and I want to say we might have had one other new person, and I'm really sorry if I've forgotten your name. I was heading towards a migraine by the end of the night, and I think I staved it off by going to bed, but I haven't had very many like super heavy migraines lately, which is both weird and awesome.
You lately you head down that road.
I've been like almost
and
about
we're
to
like,
fall off the
oh,
cliff.
this could be bad, and then it never does. It's weird.
Yeah, especially considering I'm going through more poopy stuff outside of this business, which should be giving me more migraines. But maybe I don't want to say I have to go through crap to not have migraines, though. That'd be bad. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Thank you to those who joined us. And if you want to come again, or if you want to join us for the first time and see what it's all about, session to session, we'll have different people. We have some regular repetitious people. No, that's not the right word.
Some of us are very much regular attenders, and some of us
I mean
aren't.
that in the most positive, good way. And then we have people pop in and out, and the vibe can totally change depending on who's there. But it's always we always try to have some fun.
It's super quiet,
and
because we're all counting.
And some nights it's like everybody talking at once, and some nights it's just interesting.
Yeah.
So come see what it's all about. And we have someone who's here early. So we might have to go because she's probably going to knock on the door. And she might have been the one calling to see if we were here. Anyway, we got to go, and we will see you tomorrow. And remember, if you want to be a patron, go to patreon.com/sundragon. And if you'd like to just subscribe to this channel, it's not just, but subscribing to this channel, Patreon, being a patron costs a little bit of money, depending on what you want to contribute. Subscribing here is absolutely free. And any level of support that you would like to show us would be wonderful. If you want to just comment or like, or have a conversation with us, that would be cool too. We hope you all stay safe. I'm going to go find my mask, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.